Hi everybody, it's Jessica. I'm doing another tutorial. This one is going to be for this kimono that you see here. I don't actually have the rolled hem on this one. I just went ahead and did kind of a very thin hem here, which was kind of a pain, to be honest. It took a while. I just did it all by hand. The rolled hem is so much easier, and if you have a serger, I highly suggest learning how to do the rolled hem feature on your serger. It makes things so much easier. Let's move on to the actual tutorial. Okay, I have my patterns laid out here. Basically, I just measured across my shoulders and cut that measurement in half. So mine ends up being, you can see here, 12 inches, and then this one I actually cut down to 36 inches because, oh, hello cat, because I didn't want it to be too long. So this one here is going to be for the back panel. You cut it on the fold, cut one on the fold, and mine is 12 inches by, let's say 36 inches, so it's not too long. And you also have to keep in mind, if you're doing a rolled hem, you want to make the actual length minus maybe 1/4 of an inch, the actual length that you want it, because your rolled hem is not going to be, it's not going to take up very much fabric. All right, this is, by the way, is about 1.5 yards of fabric that I'm using here. It's 2 separate pieces because I ran out of the fabric at some point and had to go get some more. So this is the sleeve. This one is 19 inches by 10 inches for mine, and I've kind of messed with the measurements a little bit, and this is the best one that I've come up with. That gives you the sleeve that you just saw. It's not too big and it's not too small. I think it's just a perfect size, and I think it would work for most ladies of average size. And like I said, this one is 19 inches by 10 inches, and you cut 2 of these. I just cut them on the fold and then kind of cut along the folded line as well. This is the front panel. I'm holding it with my scissors because I ran out of pins. I don't know where those go. And the front panel, you also cut 2. This one is 30 inches by 10 inches. My cat wants to be in the video. And you're going to cut 2 of those as well, and not on the fold. And those are all your pattern pieces. Mine, as you can see, are made out of wrapping paper. It's a very durable wrapping paper, but it's wrapping paper nonetheless. So I'm going to cut my pattern out, and then I'll be back. The next thing we're going to do, actually the first thing we do after cutting all of our pieces out, all of our pattern pieces out, is we're just going to sew the end of the sleeves together. So this is going to be with the right sides together. Put the right sides together and fold it, I guess you would say hamburger style. If you have kids, you know what that means. This is hot dog style. Do not fold it that way. Fold it hamburger style. And we're just going to sew the edges of this straight line down. This is going to be the inside of your kimono sleeve, but I found the easiest thing for me is just to either serge or do a rolled hem. I'm doing a rolled hem on the outside, and it's easier to not have to switch everything on my machine up from a serged edge to a rolled hem, so I'm just going to do a rolled hem for the whole inside part. And it makes it look nice on the inside as well as the outside. Less trouble and it looks better. Sounds good to me. Just going to sew all the way down. Actually have to adjust these settings a little bit because my son was playing with my serger, clearly. You just want to remember with the rolled hem, you don't want any puckering. You don't want your fabric to pucker. So just kind of play with your settings until you have the right tension. Okay. That is done. That's what it looks like on the other side. And this is what the rolled hem looks like. Just a very finished edge. I like the way that looks. So now we're going to do the other one. I'm going to do the other one, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. Okay, so I have my back panel here, and as you can see, there is a neckline I cut through the back. So when it's folded, with my measurements, what I did is I measured 9 inches over from the raw edge, not the fold, 9 inches over on the top from the raw edge, and I just cut a curve, and you can cut it however deep you want it. It's really hard to mess this up unless you like just cut straight down, but make sure you cut a curve, and that's going to be for your neck opening for the back. And all you're going to do here is you're going to sew the front panel of the kimono to the back. So you want to make sure that the edges match up from where the sleeve is going to go, not from where the neck opening starts. So when you sew this top together and you open it up, this is going to be the actual outside of the kimono. You want the front piece to be like this, to be over this way, because that's going to be the front panel of your kimono. And this is the one that I made. I just happen to be wearing it today. So you're going to sew these together, right sides together. Make sure that the edges match up on the inside part of the kimono. Again, have to stress that. A lot like Misha, bless her heart, I don't use pins usually. I especially don't use pins when I'm using satin materials, because I don't like the way it can make the fabric pucker. Okay, so I have the top, so this is, let's see, when it's right side out, this is the left panel. I have that one sewn. Now I'm going to sew the right one. Same thing, right sides together. Make sure that you're lining up the inside of the kimono. To take my time with this because the fabric's very slippery and I don't want it to be off center when I put it through the serger. It just doesn't want to go in there. Probably because it's too heavy on the other side. It's a little tip when you're sewing satin, really when you're sewing anything that slips easily, make sure you have enough room on the side of your machine over here to kind of pile up your fabric. It distributes the weight a little more evenly. You don't have to worry about it falling down. I've just figured that out from my fabric slipping, if that helps. Alright, I'm going to sew these top pieces together, and then we are going to attach the sleeves. next thing we're going to do, you want your sleeves right side out for this next part. And again, if you've ever attached sleeves, you know that's the first rule. Turn your sleeves right side out. Make sure your garment is wrong side out. And this is probably easiest to do this on the floor. Okay, so with your sleeves, you want to make sure that the bottom hem of your sleeve is facing down. So this is the top of your garment and the top of your sleeve. And that's going to just be the folded part of your sleeve, not the part you actually sewed. Okay? So it's actually, the sleeves are actually going to be right side together inside your garment. That's probably more confusing than it needs to be. So what I like to do is I like to just attach one side, make sure it's even, make sure my hem on the bottom is on the bottom where it should be. And then I just sew straight down one side. I do one side at a time. I don't go all the way around in one continuous motion because it's just easier to be more accurate when you do it the other way. So I sewed down to the hem, the bottom hem on one side, so you can see what this is going to look like when you sew the other part. This is the back of the kimono, but here's one part of the sleeve attached. So just flip it this way. Okay, I've finished sewing the sleeves on, and then I just went ahead and sewed from where the sleeve ends at the seam all the way down to where the front of the kimono ends, and then the same on the other side. And there's only a couple steps left. The first thing is to decide how you want the back to look. The kimono I have on now is curved at the end, basically from the front of the side seam to the front of the other side seam. It's just got a curve all the way around. And the way you achieve that is matching up the side seams together, matching up the front seams on the side, and then all you have to do is cut where you want your curve to be. So this is the bottom of the kimono, and this is the front frayed edge of the, actually this is the back part. So this is the back panel. And all you have to do is, starting down here on this side that's folded, cut like this, curved up to the front. And it'll give this curved look right here. So I'm going to do that to mine now, and then all you have to do after that is finish all the edges. With this satin, I always use a rolled hem, and I have that option on my serger. If you only have a sewing machine, just do a couple of very thin folds and sew down the edge like that, and you're done. Okay, here is the finished product. I went ahead and did a rolled hem on the sleeves, the front, the bottom, and the neckline. See the rolled hem here. It's black, so you might not be able to see it very well. If anyone has any questions about the tutorial, just be sure to leave a comment and I will answer as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy sewing!